her mind trying to get Donald Trump. She's willing to break the law and bend the rules, and her voters are loving her for it. RFK Jr. says Donald Trump did not commit insurrection, and if elected, he would review all the January 6th defendants' records to make sure that they weren't punished for Biden's political reasons. Israel is warned that an attack is incoming from Tehran, and Biden announces the United States will stand with Israel if attacked. Also, Trump is raising record-breaking amounts of money, yet his top political donors haven't even contributed yet. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out. So thank you guys so much. There's a lot to get through, so I'm just going to jump right in. Donald Trump's former economic expert, Stephen Moore, who I had on my show, has exposed how Biden's green energy buddies are avoiding taxes and milking tax loopholes. He said, President Joe Biden's been going on about how companies need to pay their fair share of taxes, but it turns out people on big tech and Wall Street are the real tax dodgers, not the American people. He proves that the green energy firms Biden has been supplementing are avoiding taxes more than any other companies in the country. Despite all the hope around renewable energy being the future, wind and solar power industries are actually some of the worst offenders when it comes to skipping out on their fair share of taxes. They rake in billions of dollars of subsidies that were meant for small companies, but are being handed out to the big companies with Biden's blessing. So while Biden's out there pushing for tax reform on you and me, the green energy lobby is sitting pretty and cozying up to Biden because they continue to get tax exemption after tax exemption. But guess what? Despite all the taxpayer money poured into green energy, we're still mostly reliant on fossil fuels and nuclear energy. That's because with all the billions and billions of dollars going into green energy, it's not lowering the cost of your bills. I talked about this yesterday. So what needs to happen is there actually needs to be more production of fossil fuel, more production of natural gas. That's what is going to drive down the prices by creating more supply than there is demand, where right now there's more demand than supply, but these green energy initiatives are not going to solve all of our problems. All right, now, if anything, they're just going to take more cash out of your pocket. Now, speaking of taking cash out of your pocket, I told you how deranged Attorney General Letitia James has been purposely blocking Donald Trump from paying his $175 million bond. Well, today, Letitia James announced that if the money isn't handed over and proven by Monday of this coming week, she will start confiscating Donald Trump's New York properties. She says she isn't messing around. So Trump finally secures the amount the appellate court agreed to, not the full $454 million. And now Letitia James says he won't pay, but really it's her that's blocking his payment. So does she think that we're stupid? We can all see what the real problem is. It's not Donald Trump. It's Letitia James. Now, according to Newsweek, Judge Arthur Engoron has already scheduled a hearing for April 22nd to approve AG Letitia James taking Donald Trump's properties. Man, this lady is wicked. Now she's openly raising money for getting Trump as she promised, and her voters are absolutely loving her. They're just handing over money because they're saying, finally, somebody kept their political promises. But Letitia James says she's not done yet. She's now accusing Donald Trump and his attorneys of perjuring themselves and withholding evidence. Letitia James said she wants the evidence to get Trump, while Alina Habba, Trump's attorney, says, we've already given you everything you demanded. Letitia James said she will start fining Trump even more money if she doesn't get the evidence she wants now. I mean, wow, this is absolutely crazy. Now, Did you know that RFK Jr. recently defended Trump and his supporters in a way that really set off the Democrats? RFK Jr. said that if he wins the Oval Office, he will appoint a special counsel to review the law and processes the government used to hunt, arrest, and jail January 6 defendants. Kennedy said he doesn't agree with their behavior, but does not believe that it was an insurrection nor a takeover of the federal government. He said Biden has gone too far and the DOJ and the FBI are out of control. There must be government accountability for this day. Now, Kennedy said, as president, I will appoint a special counsel, an individual respected by all sides, to investigate whether prosecutorial discretion was abused for political ends in this case. And I will right any wrongs that we discover. Without the impartial rule of law, there is no true democracy or moral governance. Now, as of right now, the federal agencies have hunted down and arrested and prosecuted 1,230 Americans, most of which received a misdemeanor, but were treated like terrorists. Remember Brandon Straka, who I brought on my show? He spent nearly $1 million defending himself, only to be slapped on the wrist with a misdemeanor. Now, RFK Jr. believes that Joe Biden has ruled with an iron fist for political reasons and not for true justice. In fact, in my broadcast earlier today, I discussed a CIA contractor that was filmed saying there was at least 20 undercover FBI agents in the crowd on January 6th. Go back and watch that. It'll blow your mind. They are targeting Alex Jones and they are targeting Tucker Carlson, and I lay out all of the evidence. Now, Kennedy said this is a polarizing topic, but one that he has tried hard to listen to carefully from both sides of the political spectrum. He also said, like many reasonable Americans, I am concerned about the possibility that political objectives motivated the vigor of the prosecution of J6 defendants, their long sentences, and their harsh treatment. He also said that that would fit a disturbing pattern of the weaponization of government agencies, the DOJ, the IRS, the SEC, and the FBI against political opponents. Now, let me know in the chat, do you think that this is a smart move by RFK Jr.? Do you think that he is right, that Biden has used an iron fist to get his political way and make MAGA people look bad? I'm not planning to vote for him, but I do think he would make an excellent attorney general. Now, one thing I like about RFK Jr. is he has tried to hold Dr. Fauci accountable because the government loves to meddle in our lives. And there is a dark side to the government, including the FDA, which tries to control us and send profits to their partners, Big Pharma. For example, I take a supplement called NMN, which boosts the NAD plus in your body. NAD plus keeps the 50 trillion cells in your body full of energy. The FDA now wants to reclassify this as a drug so Big Pharma can control it. This move is not based on efficacy or safety of NMN, but is aimed at cornering the market and taking the supplement away from you and me. Now, every year that you get older, you have less NAD plus in your body. NMN can increase that, and the FDA knows it, which is why Big Pharma is pressuring them to make it a drug. Now, NMN is a precursor to NAD plus and has been shown to provide numerous health benefits, such as improved energy, weight management, endurance, strength, and even anti-aging. It isn't just any supplement, it's a game changer. And a recent Harvard study showed that NMN helped reduce weight, cholesterol, and even blood pressure in overweight adults. I'm going to link that down below. Now, I use NMN from Black Forest. Black Forest is fully stocked with NMN right now and is fighting against the FDA to keep this supplement available. As a daily user, I've experienced boosted energy and greater health. I urge you to check out the link and grab some for yourself before any restrictions come into play. Go visit blackforestsupplements.com/Steve. Right now, if you buy 2 bottles, you get one free. That will end in the next 48 hours. I'm going to leave a link down below. Now, the other day, I told you how Biden's reelection camp has $192 million and how Trump's reelection camp has around $140 million thanks to the $50 million fundraiser dinner he held. Well, some of Trump's biggest donors haven't yet donated to his campaign. They're waiting for him to get further along so that they can dump buckets of money on him. Now, this could be good or bad. Some are saying he's not going to get this money, while others say, no, this is all strategic. Now, the first is Blackstone CEO Steven Schwartzman and Elliott Management and co-CEO Paul Singer. However, the big one is former Las Vegas casino family, the Adelsons. The Adelson family gave Trump $90 million last election. So far, they've given $0. However, Trump has had dinner with Miss Adelson several times, and many predict that she will donate at some point. I can't even imagine having $90 million, let alone being able to give that much away and not have it feel like a major pinch. Absolutely crazy. All right, now over in Gaza, Israel has killed the sons and grandchildren of one of Hamas's top leaders. It's not certain how they're going to react, but as a top leader, if your child and grandchild were killed, wouldn't revenge be the #1 thing you wanted? That's the worry for the future. Now, according to Al Jazeera Media, the Pentagon and U.S. CENTCOM, or Central Command, says they are preparing for a joint attack with Israel on Iran, but only if Iran attacks the United States or Israel or one of the 2 countries' embassies. Now, remember, the head of the Ayatollah in Iran announced all Israeli bases are fair game and vulnerable to attack after Israel attacked their embassy in Syria. President Biden said today he makes no promises, but will make a prediction. He's predicting that it will be cheaper to borrow money as we get closer to the election. He says he believes Jerome Powell will lower interest rates before the election because it's the right thing to do. And by the right thing to do, I mean he's going to heavily pressure them in order to swing votes over to the Democrats. At least that's what I believe. Now, according to Axios News, President Biden will be issuing an executive order in the next couple of weeks that will dramatically decrease the number of illegal immigrants entering the country under asylum. Now, why doesn't he do this right away? He could literally do it tomorrow. But Axios says the White House is delaying and won't make a decision for several weeks. Now, this same article said that Biden is reluctant to tighten the border and that he didn't want it known that he is going to use the same laws Trump used in order to achieve this end. Now, it just must burn him up inside to know he has to use the same laws as Trump, because Republicans are going to point out that after it was all said and done, Biden copied Donald Trump in order to protect the southern border. But I think that they are delaying because they want as many future voters to sneak into the country as they can. Okay, now speaking of Trump, an appellate court has denied his motion to delay his hush money case in New York with Judge Merchan. However, the appellate court is seriously considering the removal of Judge Merchan, whose daughter is a professional fundraiser for Biden, Kamala Harris, and Representative Adam Schiff, who is running for Senate. However, a final decision has not been made yet on whether to have Judge Merchan recuse himself, but a final decision has been made that the hush money case will be moving forward. Now, while Trump is dealing with all of this, Biden is holding a dinner tonight with Hillary Clinton, Robert De Niro, Jeff Bezos of Amazon, and the Prime Minister of Japan. So bringing in all of the Trump haters into one dinner except for the prime minister of Japan. Trump actually had a really good relationship with Japan. Okay, now let's go back to the topic of Israel, because there's a lot that I want to share with you guys. Biden has told Israel that they must exit Rafah in South Gaza and stop killing Palestinians. But Netanyahu says he won't leave because now Hamas says they can't locate 40 of the Israeli hostages. Like 40 people are missing. They've died or they've been trafficked. Hamas does not know where 40 people are. So Benjamin Netanyahu says, nope, we are going back into Rafah and we're going to finish the job and get rid of these terrorists. Biden has committed to standing with Israel if they are directly attacked by Iran. Now, the reason Biden is saying this is intelligence agencies have announced today that they've gotten communication that Israel will be attacked via missiles coming from Tehran. Now, they announced this because they're trying to prevent the attack by exposing their knowledge of the plan, but also by publicly announcing that if Israel is hit, the United States military will back them up. So they're doing their best to prevent this attack, but I guess the chatter along the cables of all of these different intelligence agencies is saying that Israel is about to be attacked. I told you guys yesterday morning how the FBI is now saying that within our United States that they're worried about an attack similar to what happened in Moscow, Russia. Gosh, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But a lot's going on in the world every day, and it seems like every single day we're just marching closer and closer to World War III. I don't want to live through this. I don't think you guys want to live through this. I certainly don't want my children to have to live through this. All right, speaking of things that we lived through, Senator Rand Paul, who has been on my show, released today that it has been discovered that Dr. Anthony Fauci held multiple secret meetings with the CIA. Senator Paul wants to know, what were you doing with the CIA? What did you discuss? And better yet, what are you trying to cover up? Now, Senator Rand Paul said he would like to see Donald Trump reelected because then and only then Fauci can be held accountable. But let me know in the chat, do you think that Donald Trump would actually hold Dr. Fauci accountable? I don't know. They didn't get along, and I believe Trump knows that he was lied to by Fauci, but would he actually do something? I don't really know. Okay, final story. This one burns me up. Progressive Democrat mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, announced today that Chicago will use a taxpayer fund and will spend $220 million of taxpayer money on illegal immigrants. There's no mention of helping the homeless. There's no mention of helping military veterans. All of that money is being earmarked and dedicated to new arrivals in Chicago. The newcomers, as President Biden calls them. $220 million of Illinois' tax money is going to be going to these illegal immigrants. I'll tell you, the black community in Chicago is furious. This guy won because of the black vote and said, I will stand up for black voters. And what does he do? Psh, psh, psh. Give me your money so that I can give it away to illegal immigrants. But what do you expect? He's just following the pattern of our federal government workers. Steal the taxpayer money and then give it away to somebody else who didn't pay it. Ugh, crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, let me know over in the chat. Are you just up late or are you just waking up for the day? Let me know. I'm ready to go to bed. I cannot believe this Letitia James stuff. Blaming Trump, not allowing him to make his payment, and now a court hearing to steal his properties and fine him, saying that he's committed perjury and that they want even more evidence to bury him with. Absolutely insane. Crazy. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this morning or this afternoon, whenever you're finding this broadcast. Lots going on. Keep your heads up. I know that it's heavy, heavy stuff, but you need to know what's going on, because how can you make good decisions about your money and your family and your future if you don't know the truth of what your government is trying to do to you? But before you go, please let me remind you that you are amazing. Never, never, never forget that. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you on the next video.